up.
This man so rich he just buys batteries every week.
We'd like to call to order the April 12, 2016 Recreation Meeting. All chairmen are present. We'd like to go to the invocation pledge led by Councilman Lambert.
Thank you, Lord, for allowing us here tonight. Give us the wisdom to make decisions on our rec department, which is involving our children and our young adults. Keep them on the right path moving forward. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'd like to remind anybody who wants to comment, they have a public comment card they need to fill out and bring to the podium. We'll give you 3 minutes to speak. We'll go to agenda item number 4, the update on Hillaryville Park by Mr. Berthelot.
In recent weeks, we have begun to lay a foundation for a driveway and a parking lot. Later this week, we will determine the exact location of where the restroom facility will be placed. Once this is determined, we can move our attention to obtaining electricity, which should be established by the end of the month. Once the power has been placed, we will then move to have the water and sewer placed at the park. I'm considering building 3 small pavilions as an in-house project. Recreation has a carpenter on staff, and after several talks with him, we feel that this is something well within our capacity. Also, Mr. Will Woods has been assigned as the project manager for Hillaryville. End of report.
I have one quick question on it. I know there's only one piece of equipment out there right now. How long before the additional pieces of playground equipment are placed at the site?
The playground equipment that we have out there was what was planned for.
That's gonna be all of it.
What's next will be the pavilions, the bathroom, and then the laying of the basketball, volleyball court.
And are there any plans to place any type of fence around the park?
Not right now.
And as far as those other phases of the park that you just mentioned, do we have any type of exact time frame, or would they be ready for the summer? Or
The state fire marshal has signed off on the building. I've seen that plan. So we're just waiting on getting the utilities, and we're going to go put it out for bid. I think the initial cost estimate was somewhere around $70,000.
Okay. Any other questions?
Actually, it's not on Hillaryville Park, though. Just a general question.
Okay.
We had spoken earlier about some graffiti problems at the skate park. I got a couple calls from constituents on that. Can you just talk about what's been done on that? Let the public know what we've done to help solve that problem.
Well, we had first addressed the graffiti on the rules sign. We had changed the sign and put up a new one. They had gone back and graffitied over that, so we've just taken the sign down completely. Speaking with Aaron earlier, he had mentioned to me that what Baton Rouge has done is that when graffiti shows up, they shut down the park until someone, either the people responsible or someone else, comes to clean it up. And then once it's cleaned up, they reopen the park back up. So it may be an option for us to try. I think it's working pretty well for them.
Yeah, I like to see that option because, we provide nice things for the parish, for the people of the parish, and if people are going to come here and spray graffiti all over, it's just unacceptable. We close it down. If they want to come clean it up, the people responsible will do it, or the people that care will come do it. And hopefully that'll put an end to it.
Councilman Joseph?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I understand the rule that you're trying to put in place, but is there a fence around that park, that skate park?
No, sir.
Who gonna monitor to say they're gonna be closed? Do we have the employees to monitor them, to ensure that no one is on that park?
Well, if we close the park and then we see someone there, we'll have to police it ourselves. I mean, we've already asked the police to do extra patrols there, the city police.
Okay, I'm just, I just don't see that working. I mean, all the parks around here, we don't have the manpower to maintain grass and everything else, and to do this. It's just gonna make them more angry. I just think if we do anything, it's just, put a camera out there. I mean, then you would catch the people who does it.
We did that. They banged it up with a hammer and left it for us.
Y'all sure put it in a real nice place, how they can get to it, huh? I mean, a telephone post, if he climbed that telephone post to get a camera, then
Sure
he
did.
really want to get to it, so. I'm just saying, I mean, it's a good suggestion, but, it happened to us on the other side of the river sometime. And, lately they've been pretty good, but we didn't close nothing. And, you know, we just constantly just remind them that it's their park and they won't destroy it, you know, and make it look bad. You know, we can't invest money in it no more, you know? That's all.
One quick. Yeah, when we built this park, there was a group of young, kind of teenage kids, I guess they were about 14, 15, that wanted this, and, you know, I think from what I can understand, they were gonna take care of it. Are they not into this?
I did receive a call, a voicemail and an email from a guy today that said he was involved with the building of it, and
Right.
he wanted to come and meet with me.
It was a young guy that really pushed and worked to get it, you know, and
I believe his name's Benny.
I think you might be right.
Todd, that young man, I see him pretty
Yeah.
often, and he have a job and he have a family now.
Right. Well,
He's
I
not
figured he's
skateboarding
already,
like he
yeah.
used to.
Yeah, I figured he done grew up. That was a few years ago, yeah. But, you know, he did say that the association would help, you know, maintain it. So, you know, maybe we need to get with him and just kind of see which avenue we could get help from him on that, maybe. That's all, yeah.
I have spoken with him. They're going out there to clean it up themselves.
Is that right?
And that's part of the thing, though. I mean, even if we put a sign up saying, hey, park is closed because of these individuals that did that, somebody knows who did it. And it is a crime, and the people that want to use that skate park will eventually say, hey, either stop doing it or we're going to turn you in. I mean, something has to be done. I'm just going to throw my hands up and say we can't do anything about it. You know, we can put a sign up that says it's closed, and if a policeman sees you in it, then come give you a citation. You know, we have to do something about it. I just don't want to throw my hands up on it. It's a nice thing, and it should be a nice thing that can be used by everybody. Thank you.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 5, the APASA report by Kirk Lambert.
Gentlemen, our adult softball association has been growing pretty steadily for the last 7 or 8 years. We really need our own complex. We have one assigned field in the entire parish, and it's Perryville Park. And when we ran out, we can't keep anybody off of it. To the point last fall, we did not have a men's league because somebody was playing soccer on the field after, like, we ran out, and then the cops, we have 2 police departments in our leagues, and they were literally running people off in the water. We've had, in the past 2 years, we had a total of 53 teams 2 years ago, 48 teams last year, and that's not having a men's fall league. So far this year, we have 18 teams playing right now. Every league in the spring co-ed, we borrow a field from either girls or boys. In the fall, we borrow a field from girls or boys. When we play the women's league, they borrow a field. We have one field. Men play spring, summer, fall. Women only play in the summer. Co-ed plays spring and the fall. I have 22 co-ed teams on the list and 19 men's teams. Not everybody plays every league, I understand that. But 2 years ago, we had 17 co-ed teams in the fall on borrowed fields. Any questions?
Councilman Lambert.
I thought you were going.
Brandon, what are you looking at with this, man? I mean, the one field that he's talking about, this building didn't have lights on it. We finally put lights on it. That's been 5-6 years ago. Have y'all been working together? Have y'all been talking, or what's going on?
Tonight's the first night I've met him.
Okay. And look, this, I mean, we know this league is grown. I mean, it's very competitive. Where else y'all travel to Baton Rouge? Who do y'all play? You'll play against just in the parish here, or where are you going?
Yeah, all of our teams are local. We won't let outside teams play here. Like, we will, but we don't have the facilities to house them.
Correct.
We already lost 2 men's teams in the last league and a half to Cypress Mounds. I mean, we don't have the facilities.
Well, Kirk, this is a start.
Yes, sir.
You didn't have any lights. Now you have lights, and maybe we can do something with another park. So I say get with Brandon, and we'll try to work together here. And I know, Michelle, we don't have any fields, but, I mean, these people here, they work, and they live in the parish, so we have to help them.
Councilman Joseph.
Kurt,
Yes, sir.
y'all paid for that field, correct?
Yes, sir. We pay $250 a team. The adults waive insurance, so we don't pay as much as the children, naturally. Everybody has to sign a roster agreeing that they waive an insurance.
Okay,
Right now, Prairieville Park is, I mean, the outfield is almost unplayable.
okay. Question, that's what's the question. You play at Perryville, the old
Yes, sir.
Perryville? Oh, okay,
Old fairground.
fairground. All right, and Jackie Robinson Park. Wow.
They play at, men's league plays at Prairieville all year round. Co-ed plays at Santa Maria in the spring, and they borrow 2 fields at Butch Gore in the fall. Because we don't, that one field at Jackie Robinson, they need 3 fields. They need 3 in one spot. Co-ed is 2 fields every night in the fall. And they play a competitive and a non-competitive side, so.
So, I'm looking at your numbers. Y'all hold tournaments?
No, sir. Originally, when they started doing the ball fields at Lamar Dixon, that was the initial plan, is assign that to the adults, and then the parish could have state qualifiers and all of the goodies that go with that.
And y'all didn't fight hard enough, so soccer field beat y'all.
And once you put kids out there, a lot of the rest of that goes away.
Yeah, because, listen, we've had to restrict them at Butch Gore to the point where, and listen, they're adults, they're super, super competitive. Some of these men's league teams play all over the place, and we've had to restrict them to say, if you say a curse word, you're out. Because it is the girls' park. It's not a boys' park. It's not the older boys' park. It's the girls' park.
Look, I played in men's leagues across the country, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But
We have a men's tournament team that actually got put together from our upper men's league 2 years ago. The first year that they were together, the following spring, they won D state. Every one of those guys are still playing in our league. Most of them play on different tournament teams now, but they all play in C-ball.
okay. My other comment is, you're not asking for no financial assistance or anything. All you're asking for is field.
Correct. We would like all of the adults to be in one ball field, because right now we have the men's league and co-ed is both playing on Mondays and Wednesdays.
And then, look, I'm for it. I ain't got nothing against that, okay? But once again, I'm going to bring up this same old story, okay? We don't want a tax in Ascension Parish for recreation. We don't want to find another solution to fund these recreation because, like we say, all our parks are full. Every last one of them, all the time. Now, somewhere along the line that we're going to have to be grown up and say, you know, Parish, we do have to come up with something to accommodate everybody. Your baseball, adult baseball. There's adult soccer. There's adult basketball. That, you know, we're leaving the kids and we looking at the adults because we're growing that fast. And you have to do something entertaining. So, I mean, you know, we'll work. I mean, I'll do whatever I can to help you. But this is another tall task.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right?
Thank you.
Councilman Lawler?
I have a couple questions,
Okay.
Mr. Lambert. One of my thoughts is, just humor me on this. What do y'all do after the games? You know, go out to eat, do anything like that?
Some teams do, some teams don't. It really depends on the teams.
And my point is, you're still putting money back into the parish. That's why this is important, because it's not just go home after this. Some teams do go out to eat. That's tax dollars going into the parish. It's part of the reason why this is important. The money that y'all spend for these leagues, do y'all have any volunteer time that people can go out there and help maintain the fields also? I know it's asking a lot, you're already paying, but is that something?
Regularly, yeah.
Okay.
We have the vast majority of people that play will, like, if it starts raining, I'll get 7 or 8 calls a day. Like, it's not rained out yet, you know what I mean? People are always constantly checking on the fields or pushing water off of it all the time.
You had mentioned before having a single field or single area. Is that, it's kind of foreign to me. I've never understood a parish that has a segregated girls' field. You got a boys' field. You're keeping everything separate for some reason. I thought we were done with segregating things, but now do y'all need just a single field?
No, we need more than one field.
No, I understand that, but could it be at different parks around the parish? I mean, we don't have a huge parish, and if everybody's already coming from everywhere.
The fields are different. They may hit a 300, they may need a 300 feet field. The girls might only have a 250.
Correct.
So, and they're looking at those leagues so they can be more competitive across the state and the nation because they have to have legal baseball fields to play.
But what I'm saying is maybe there's a problem with the way our parks are made, that we're limiting people, that everybody in the parish has to go to a single park to do this. Everybody in the East Bank has to go to do this, and you're forcing people to go to separate.
It works better that way.
Well, I don't necessarily agree that it does.
Yeah, it really does.
No, I'm disagreeing with you, quite frankly. I've seen it done many places where you have multiple community parks where you can have a men's league, you can have boys, girls, they can all play there. You have a large field that can be expanded, shrunk down multiple ways. Right now, if you want to go play softball, everybody in the parish has to go to Paula Park. And
T-ball.
T-ball?
T-ball.
T-ball, I don't know which it all is, but everybody has to drive a long distance. That's why we have people that don't want to play parish ball, quite frankly. And I'm thinking if we could do something where we could have areas with multiple fields of multiple sides in one playground, then you can have a men's league in this area, you can have a men's league in that area, a men's league in that area, and eventually they can all play each other and do something of that sort. Would that work for y'all, if that could be done?
You're not going to have that many teams in like a one individual league to be able to split them three different parks.
Okay,
You know
but
what I
if
mean?
you
Like most leagues, it's like 7 or 8 teams. Because during the summer, we're going to split. We'll have an upper and a lower. And you might have 6 playing down and 8 playing up. You can't have a league with 4 teams over here. You play the same, you know what I mean?
But you could have the same size field. I mean, the fields that you play on, who else plays on those fields?
Nobody. I mean, when we get to Prairieville, there'll be like a baseball team will be practicing on it. And I mean, we just walk around and talk to them and they're like, hey, what time y'all need it?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, y'all can play on the baseball field. Those are big enough.
Yeah, men can play on a big field. Women and co-ed, because when we play co-ed, men bat opposite their power. They can play on the same size field.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is something that could eventually work. I mean, right now we're very segregated on where everybody goes. And one of the complaints I get all the time is, why do I have to drive so far to go play ball? You know, they don't do that everywhere. A lot of other parishes and counties have community playgrounds where the community can help take care of it, and they can have a ballpark. If you look at Orleans Parish, Jefferson Parish, they all do that. Lafayette does it. That's something we need to look into. I think that could help y'all.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing is the money, you know, as Oliver brought that up, and, you know, we tried, and our budget is pretty slim, but I know parish president has plans on making a multi-complex, sporting complex at Lamar Dixon, maybe, Don, you know, I know that's one of his top 10 projects for this 2016 was to do that, and I don't know what was his agenda for that.
I mean, I hate to interrupt you. on
That was his top 10.
That may be his top 10, then my understanding, I'm just only gonna go back to, once we did the soccer field, the other half of it is for the balloon festival and for all the other little Boy Scout on the other side of that little road.
So it's filled up. No more ball fields, is
Right.
what you're saying.
I mean, unless, we make a different, we
Oh.
For-
change it,
That's right.
As far as the upkeep, we do have a new director, and he's familiar with ball fields. He's been around them a long time, and I'm sure he's gonna do some maintaining a little bit, stay on top of it. I know he's told me already that he came on board and didn't even have a side cutter for the parish, so he's already purchased that, and he's moving forward, so I'm sure we're gonna do a little maintaining at that field also, correct, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Michael, what's the problem with the field at Jackie Robinson? If nobody's using that field, why can't that field be redone or so it could be used for either co-ed, women's, or adult? Because if it's a field just sitting there, wouldn't it help alleviate some of the problems at Prairieville?
I can't answer that. I don't know what's up with that particular field.
You never played on Jackie Robinson?
Oh, yeah, I played many tournaments out there on
Yeah.
weekends, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually met out there at Jackie Robinson yesterday with Methanex, and we're gonna do a little cooperative agreement cleanup day out there coming up on it's gonna start the 17th and it'll be finished on the 19th. We're gonna remodel basically the whole facility. Everything will be painted and where pressure washed, and so it'll be playable in a
And
few days.
nobody's using it as we speak?
We have football teams that use it.
Football teams?
What football teams use it?
I don't know what the name of the team is.
I know most of the football teams I know use fields in Gonzales now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
No, not for gameplay, just for practice.
Yeah, for practice.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah, because I think that Jackie Robinson Park would be a viable option to relieve some of the pressure off the
Maybe,
Prairieville Park.
Brandon, if you could work with the adults and see if that's, doable and get with them, and that'd be one extra field we can get to them.
Yes, we'll get on
Work
that.
on that.
Yes, sir.
But I'm only gonna say this here. If you want a complex, okay, and I guess everyone's sitting behind you, play ball, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay? You got to keep coming. Without any pressure, and we have no money, you won't get no baseball field.
Yeah,
I tell-
we're doing what we have right now, to be honest with you, it's tough, because it's, what our budget is done, 2.5 million for, we got about 20 ball fields to keep up and all the sporting events, But we don't turn down any kids. Every like you said, every park is full. We have kids at every age group, and we keep pushing. Try to get grant money and keep doing some capital projects to keep them going. Yeah. Appreciate you coming out. That we try to help
Thank you,
you
gentlemen.
any way we
Thank you.
can.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 6, the ABC report from Ronnie Holland.
How's everybody doing? Good. And my this first time being here, so bear with me for a few minutes.
No, Devil Dog, I know you can just open up, speak, yell, scream.
I am here. I'm Ronnie Holland. I'm with ABC Baseball. Have been for quite a while. We have about 1,029 kids in the league. Between T-ball all the way up through 18s. We have Paula Park, Stevens Park, and the old Santa Mall Park. We play at all three of those facilities. We have a new board of volunteers. Everything we do is all volunteers. Nobody gets paid other than paying the parish for the kids. The only issues we have right now as far as our fields go, our biggest issue is the lighting. We've already spoken with Michelle and them on the lighting issues. They are trying to get that taken care of. They've done a very good job of maintaining the fields up to this point, helping us get the dirt spread, getting the work done. Was the playground equipment at Stevens Park, there is some issues with it. I don't know if Michelle's heard. Some pieces out there are broke, some sharp edges. We'd like to see about getting that taken care of as soon as we could before somebody actually gets hurt. There's no light over the playground out there. We'd like to have something done with that as soon as possible. Parents don't want to let their kids go up there because there's no lights. What else do I have here? Really, that's the biggest issues we have at the moment is the lighting issues and the playground equipment. Oh yes, the parking at Stevens, and they did start working on the parking issue. They did drop a bulldozer off, I appreciate that, to relieve some of the pressure on the street. Because we had people, I had kids crossing the highway to get to the ballpark the other night. So we had to do something, and Michelle did help with that. Her and Brandon both. They started moving some dirt back there in the back to relieve the parking.
Yeah, I think that project's been on hold because of the rain.
Yeah,
I've been working with the road and bridge guys that's actually spreading it, and I know the rain has been hampering them on that, but hopefully they can get that done.
Yeah, the quicker it'd be better. Cause
Yeah.
It was a scary thought for me to see a 7- and an 8-year-old boy running across Cannon Road Monday night.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
And that's when I called Michelle Monday morning begging, and she did. I will give her. She jumped on the ball and made some stuff happen quick because we needed the help. We just didn't realize how many kids we actually had playing out there. But the parking was going to be that big of a deal. But when you put 600 kids in one facility, so it's a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
And but we are moving forward as a league. I believe the communication with the parish has been a lot better now. We all talk. We're trying to get along. We're all playing for the same goal. That's for
right.
the kids in this parish to have a safe place to play ball. And that's what our goal is.
And we appreciate all y'all efforts. We know it's volunteer. I've been through it before too, so y'all do a great job. Can't do it without y'all. It wouldn't be where it's at now.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Joseph.
Yeah, you mentioned the playground equipment,
Yes, sir.
and I don't know who to direct the question to, but do we have plans to replace it? That playground equipment, I don't know how old it was, but I used to go out to Stevens Park.
It's been there a while, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't walked over and looked at it myself to see what kind of damages were done. I just got some emails from parents that kids have torn their clothes, got a scratch, but I did not have time to actually go by there and look at it.
It's bad.
It's bad. And look,
It's almost unrepairable is what y'all thinking? It needs to be replaced? Yeah, we need to look at that.
it's the,
it's
well,
old
you don't need to
stuff.
tell me. That was put in 1970 something. I had one like that, all right?
Back when you had that subdivision bill.
So I mean, I think, I know in the past, we have really piggybacked off of other parishes to get a real good price on playground equipment. I mean, I would ask you to look into that, because, it is dangerous. I had one in Modesto, and it took me a couple years to get it, but, it's safe now where the kids are, beautiful, but, that playground equipment need to be replaced. I have to agree with you. We need to look into that, how we can find some funding to get that.
We would also like to, on the playground at Stevens, instead of it being all the way up front, because we have fields that are in the back, could we not put it behind the concession stand in there? To give it, one, it would have lighting there. The parents would feel more comfortable letting their kids go to the playground without having to hold their hand the whole time, because it would put them inside the facility. Right now, the playground is out front by the highway.
Yeah.
If the room's there, I don't see an
And
issue.
it is safe, once again, to foul ball. We don't want to foul ball hit the kids.
Right.
I guess you have to look at that from the safety point of view on where that location is on that playground. Yeah.
All right.
Councilman Lawler.
Yeah, I have a question. Where do we stand on the lights for the fields? I know that we were trying to, we have a contract, but they were prioritizing. Where do these rank on the prioritization?
We're in a delay from the company. They're having a problem getting the poles in.
What do you mean? Yeah. What kind of poles are we using?
They're wood poles wrapped in a mesh wire.
What is the contract with them state? I mean, do they have a time limit to get this done? I mean,
Yeah, they've gone out of their time limit.
okay, is there a penalty phase on it? Can we cancel the contract and, for non-compliance?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it's that far. I don't believe they're out of time. That's actually on the contract.
Okay, can we get that contract? I'd like to see that contract. I mean, geez, we got kids out there playing with no lights. We got dangerous equipment. We have, some kids playing out without lights. Kid's gonna get hit. I tell you, I'm ashamed of Ascension Parish Recreation. Now, I'm not blaming you. Geez and Pete's, we have one of the fastest growing parishes. We've got one of the youngest parishes, and I just think our recreation is substandard. And I know you just came on, but I look at it and it's ridiculous. I'm shocked by this. I'm honestly
when
shocked.
when I came on, they told me the project will be completed within 60 to 90 days.
No, and I remember, and like I said, I'm not blaming you. You just came on, but we need to look at this contract. If we can cancel the contract, get somebody else that can do it. I mean, it's a safety issue. I don't see how kids can be out there playing ball. If you can't see the baseball coming, you can't see it to get out of the way of it.
Just give us an update, follow up with where the poles are and where, how quick are they, was that Sunland Electric or something like that?
I think it's Diamond Electric and AST.
And how much are we paying per pole and light?
I think it's around 25,000.
The contract was like 350 something.
Yeah, the total contract was around 400,000.
For all the parks?
It was 21 out of 66
It's
poles.
brand new fixtures, brand new poles, brand new everything.
Well, I'd like to take a look at that contract, and if they aren't moving on it, see what we can do to cancel the contract and rebid it and get somebody that can do it timely. I mean, I can't believe that there's a shortage of poles out there.
And I'm asking, when we approved that contract, what, last year? It was last year. I think it was around October. And
Well, it was a process. We had to have somebody come out and assess the poles, and then we had to have somebody come out and give us a design, and then they put that together, and it went to bid for however many days, and the contract was awarded. I don't think that they're but about halfway through their contract time.
Have they done anything, though?
They said they had the poles. The fixtures is what they were waiting for. They were expecting them by April 22nd, but there may possibly be a delay.
Okay, so
So if we try to cancel the contract, I'm going to assume they would penalize us for those poles
Well,
they
they're
already
not
have.
halfway. I mean, I think they're about midway to their contract. That's what Mike Terry said earlier today.
So it's probably, 9 times out of 10, you probably can't cancel that contract without incurring additional expenses, then enter into a new contract, I would assume.
Yeah, because
That's
we paid a
possible, yeah.
fortune already to.
Yeah, so you probably just have to ride this one out.
Right.
so when they say they
That's the problem. We've been riding this out for the last
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
or 4 years.
When
We got to
is-
rewrite our contracts.
Yeah.
We don't go
you
through
say
this.
when they would have the light fixture, they possibly would have it?
April 22nd.
Okay, then can we also have them come to us and give us a report next month? Because I mean, if they get it April 22nd, I don't think they can put up 100 poles in the next, month.
Yeah,
I'm
put them
just-
on the agenda
so,
for next.
Yeah, I mean, they had the contract, let us put some fire under them. Let them explain to us,
Thank you.
So, let me get this.
That's all I
So that's Diamond, and what about Sun?
Sun we have contract work with them.
Yeah, and we paid them quite a bit of money throughout these years, and it's just been reoccurring.
Well, we only had 19,000 on our contract for this year. So, we kind of have to decide. We have 25 parks in the parish, and we have 19,000 on a contract. So we have the pole at Stevens the wire is burnt in the ground. So do you spend the money on your contract when it's all you have to work with for the whole year? Or do you wait for the new polls? Like, it's,
And we got ball
we
season
do
going
have
on right now
light
too.
plants out there, you know, it's not ideal, it's not what we want, but we,
What are we doing? Oh, we do have it, temporary lights out there? What's going on with that?
Yeah, Rick Weber loaned us a light plant station.
and if we need to get another one, we'll borrow another one.
Yeah, I was fixing to ask if there's any way we can get a couple of more, because we have 2 completely dead poles on that field that we can't use at all, and I was just told that the kids are complaining that the lights are blinding. We need to be able to move them farther away, which means we're gonna need a couple of more light plants. If you can help with that, that'd be great.
You know, if y'all wouldn't have came here and get this report, I mean, I wouldn't even know that y'all had portable lights out there from our OEP. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So if emergency happened, we got to go hunt down that lighting system. to
We
use
checked
it.
them out.
You know, at first when you made the comment, Aaron, about, you know, how you feel about our recreation department, you know?
We're trying to
But I've
solve
been
it.
sitting here for 9 years, and I've been embarrassed to sit here, okay? Because every time you ask for something, we don't have no money. We ain't got this. We don't have that. You know? And it's embarrassing to come up here after 9 years and say what Todd like to say. What about the funding?
Yes, sir.
There's none. And it's just, you're right. It's embarrassing to come up here. The fastest growing parish, we always glad to say we one of the fastest growing parishes. And all y'all volunteers out there, all your time. So how much money we save with all of y'all volunteering time? And we can't afford to, you know, to actually get you a pole for your kid? I mean, tonight I'm really upset because I did not know that. That's embarrassing.
I do have one more question I'd like to ask, and I'm not sure what the rule is on this. We're trying to talk with a few plants in the area about donating grant money, sponsorship. The one question they all ask is what type of advertising could they do at the parks? Most of them are wanting signs to put on the fields or at the gate of the park. What is the standing on that as far as the parish ruling on that?
I don't think we have anything.
I don't think there's nothing in place. I don't think there's any restriction on it, you
But
know,
we'll probably
if they're
need it.
donating money to the park,
Yeah,
you know.
but I guess for signage or anything of that nature, we'll probably need to get with legal and draw something up.
Okay.
Well, if they're donating to the league,
But it's
they're,
still going on the parish field, though.
well, not,
Well, no, they're not
Not
paying for the
technically.
field. It's not, no, they're not paying for the field. No.
Okay, wait, hold on, Mr. Chairman, you don't mind. Are you an adult league or you a kid league?
Kids.
Well, I mean, I understand that. I'm a taxpayer too, and I feel just like you feel. But right now, we talking about legally issue. All right. And here's the only problem. It's a legal issue because if it was Lamar Dixon and the parish does do that, we do that for advertising, they make donation to the parish to put advertisement at Lamar Dixon.
Okay.
All right, but the funds go to the parish. And if you ask them if they want it and the funds go to the league, I think that might be an issue, and that's a legal issue. I cannot answer that, and we'll have to have legal to give us an answer next month.
Because just out of, well, we're going to keep order first, though. But first of all, I think part of the problem is going to be, why we're going to need the opinion is, each association is its own 501c3.
Correct.
So therefore, if they're donating to that organization, you still have the parish field, which the ABC doesn't technically own.
Right.
They're using it. So something's going to have to be worked out if they're going to donate, per se. It's going to either be to the parish, who owns the field, who's responsible for the lights. Because ABC starts putting up poles or getting donations to put up poles, per se, they're responsible for the poles at that point. And then you have a whole bunch of other legal issues. If something happens to this pole, something falls, this, that, and the other.
Yes.
So, you know, that does have to be worked out. And I don't think it's just as simple as saying that they donated, put the poles up.
Yeah, they have signs. I don't think they're donating any poles.
Yeah, they donate.
He's talking about poles is what he's speaking of. But the park itself. Yeah, I don't see an issue with that myself, but we could get with legal if there is any.
And that's the big.
He's not talking about putting any poles up
Right.
with this money. It's more or less keeping,
The sign, but it's,
to help upgrade the
it's
park
a funding
itself.
transaction
yeah.
that, it's just a funding transaction that we have to clarify.
And see, hold on, I guess we need, if you want to ask a question, I need to get you to come to the poll. But the city own their fields and they run their own association.
Right.
What the parish has, we own the field and we have associations running the fields, or not running the fields, but running the league. So there's a difference between how the parish is done and how the city of Gonzales is done.
Okay.
And that's where we have to make sure we're covered at.
My other part of that question would be that this, just say we did raise this money, could we come to the parish and go, hey, we have this much money we would like to put into these parish facilities? Will y'all be able to help us with that?
And
Legal
I
issue.
think that's another one of
Yeah.
the legal.
That's gonna be the hardest. But I think there's a solution to that. If you create 501c3s.
They already
for-
have them though.
No, but hold on. For booster clubs for each specific playground, what you can do is you can then have these corporations. And I was thinking about with the men's softball leagues. A lot of these men's softball leagues used to play on the plants. They used to have fields at the plants. After 9/11, they had to shut those down for safety purposes. It pushed everybody into the parish. That'd be a great source to go to them and say, hey, you're no longer doing this. Let's put some money into these softball leagues. But if you do it per playground, you have booster clubs per playground, they can donate to that booster club. As long as we have the contracts and the insurance run up right with the booster clubs, they can then use that money to supplement what we pay for the playgrounds. It doesn't have to just be putting up lights, but everything from field maintenance, getting the dirt, doing all that sort of thing, that happens all over. And that's something we need to strongly look at. It goes back to a community playground.
Right. Okay.
I make a motion, we run this by legal and let's move forward
I
so we
second
can,
that one, no, you
I'm a third of that.
Yeah,
opposition?
yeah.
And our
if
fifth
legal approves it, we'll bring it back at the next meeting and move forward and
Okay.
let the associations know. We get Brandon to make sure everybody's contacted on.
I do appreciate y'all's time.
Thank
y'all.
you, sir. Appreciate
you.
what you do.
Well, I guess we got a motion to present the sponsorship argument to
Legal.
legal.
Yes.
No opposition? Motion by Councilman Lemon, seconded by Councilman Joseph. No opposition. The motion passes.
Thank y'all.
And I'd just like to add one other thing, Mr. Chairman. Brandon, I'm glad you brought Methanex out tonight, so let's, I'd like to be involved with that, at Jackie Robertson, so we show buy-in. I think it'll spread out to the other parks, so that's very good.
Okay, I'll make sure that you're in the loop on all the information.
Good.
Thank y'all.
And
Thank you, Ron.
just send us all an email when that takes place,
Okay.
all
Yes,
the
sir.
committee members, sure.
Go to agenda item number 7, West Ascension Youth Baseball Softball Report.
Thank you, Chairman, Councilman. This is my first time addressing you guys, so I want to first thank you for what you guys are putting into recreation. I've been involved in recreation all my life in the Donaldsonville area, and I really appreciate it. We've started we're well into our practice time now with the West Ascension Youth Baseball and Softball. My name is Troy LaBeouf. I apologize. Didn't have it on the agenda, so I just wanted to make sure you know that. To date, 230 kids registered. I have 223 paid. I'm working to get those other 7 paid. We have some kids that can't afford it, and I don't want to deny them, so if I got to pay it myself, I will. We registered February through a good portion of March 2016. It was a little different from the past. I tried to get it started a little bit earlier, and nothing against who did the baseball and softball in the past, but I just wanted to get a jump start and really push it into schools, and I'd gotten some good advice from the previous folks that took care of it. So we kind of got the forms into the schools and the local schools, and it really helped a lot. We had our coaches meeting on March 22nd, and what I stress to those folks is what we're trying to do in the league is sportsmanship and teach, and not just worry about winning, and really have the kids understand by teaching the fundamentals of the game. We drafted teams on March 24th. We've been practicing the last 2 weeks. Once Mrs. Aja gave me the go-ahead with our insurance being good, we started our practice. Umpires meeting coming up on April 16th, where I'll meet with all the umpires. I'll have a umpire that's actually does high school baseball from Donaldsonville come out, work on the mechanics, talk to the umpires, and show them the proper way to call games. Because I do have some younger umpires, some kids from the schools, and I have a couple of adults as well. We have the following teams. We have T-ball, which is just 4-year-olds. That's mixed boys and girls. We have 3 teams in there. 5 and 6 is combined boys and girls. We've gone to machine pitch for that group. They started a pilot program last year with Cal Ripken to do that with the 6-year-olds and the 5-year-olds, and we're doing that this year. 7 and 8 boys, we have 3 teams. 9 and 10 boys, we have 3 teams. 11 and 12, we have 2 teams. I've already graciously been asked by some teams from the East Bank to play our teams as well. So we're going to combine with the East Bank of Ascension Parish to get so they don't have to play each other every night with the 11 and 12-year-old group. A 13 to 15-year-old team. This is the first time we've had a 13 to 15-year-old team in some time. I think most of you know where La La Rogera Field is. Historic park. It's a beautiful park. And we finally have one team. So I've already got a schedule from the one of the commissioners over here on the East Bank, and our schedule's set already. We're going to play each other. So the kids are really excited about it. And as all of you know, with the travel teams, it's really hard to get those kids, especially when they hit 10, 11, 12 and up, the travel teams. And I'm not bashing the travel teams. I got several friends that do it, and they do it the right way. But it certainly has hindered our league quite a bit. Kind of proud on the fact that we have 2 7 to 9 girls teams and 2 10 to 12 girls teams. We only had 2 girls teams last year total from 7 to 12. So we've picked up a little bit, and obviously we lose girls to travel as well. Plus girls get interested in doing some other things as well. So that's kind of where our leagues, how it breaks down. We have our challenges with travel ball. We have our challenges with some of our neighboring leagues. Once I started registering, Pier Port, just for example, is a neighboring, obviously, city. We lost some kids to them because they just were not sure on what our league was going to look like. And unfortunately, I lost some kids to them. Didn't like it, but it's just the way it is. We got some fringe, kids in the Assumption area that can choose to go either way. I don't have any Donaldsonville kids doing it, but I have some kids where I can pull from Belrose area. And I am getting some, but I have lost some to Pierpont that we would like to have gotten. I want to compliment Brandon and Aja for certainly helping us with some of our cosmetic improvements and getting some adequate equipment for us, because we really haven't had that in the past. And we kind of just makeshift, and they're doing the best they can. And I know Michelle and the rest of the group and Aja and Brandon, Mr. Don are trying to do the best they can to provide us with what they can with the funding and everything. So I want to thank them. Our maintenance folks over there, Mr. Tyrone and Jamal, they do a great job, and they're willing to work hard on trying to make our fields look presentable and give the kids an opportunity to play. So that's my report. We start playing games April 23rd, and our league ends May 26th. We kind of work around Ascension Catholic as well, because they rent the park for softball and some middle school baseball. So they're wrapping up, and we'll go full blast. So I'll take any questions if you have any.
Councilman Joseph.
How you doing, Troy?
I'm doing great.
All right. On our field condition, is any, I know you say that we've been working on it, but any major item that you would like to see improved in that area?
To be honest, no, because some improvements have been made. We had some new benches built, and it's more of the 2015 style where you can sit on the top of the bench. We had done at Lala both dugouts, and one of our 11 and 12 fields got it done as well. We got some lights fixed that we needed to. That was an issue, but we got some of that done. We didn't have as many, obviously, as what they face here. We only had a couple that needed to be fixed. We did have some vandalism go on. I don't know if you were aware of it. at our park. Certainly can't pinpoint where it's coming from. You councilmen know that Frank Sotil Pavilion gets rented out. They do it the legal way, but I think there's some stuff that goes on there because, for example, the baseball coach at Ascension Catholic spends a lot of time. He just about sleeps out there at La Rogera Field. And when the vandalism happened, they tore some fencing down and it busted our dugouts up a little bit, dugouts that we had just fixed. He left the park on a Saturday afternoon. Everything looked fine. He came back Sunday morning and had some vandalism done. And I'm not saying it could have definitely been from Frank Sotil Pavilion, the people that had rented it, but it happened somewhere in that time frame. So, but to answer your question, no, I think we're making some small movement, and I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We go to agenda item number 8, the Myers contract. I guess see my name by it, so I guess I give a brief overview of it. It's basically renewing the contract for Meyer Engineering to go ahead and start on the gym at Lamar Dixon. To renew or extend? To renew or extend it?
It expires April 20, the retainer,
Yeah.
it expires April the 20th.
Okay,
With a
so it's
3-year,
to extend it then.
a 3-year renewal option, so
Okay.
that's what y'all want.
I make the motion, we extend it.
Got a motion by Councilman Joseph,
I'll second that.
second by Councilman Lambert.
Discussion.
Question.
We within what we had talked about
Yes.
with
That's
the
for them to-
agreement.
Yes. That's for them to go ahead and start the planning and phasing to go ahead and get it started.
Good.
Those are all within budget. They just had to get the contract extended because they weren't gonna be able to get the work started before the contract was up on April 24th.
Good job.
Any opposition? Okay. Motion passes.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question right quick, because,
Question by Councilman Joseph.
yeah, I know you say west side, and, I wanted to ask Ms. Isaac how we was coming along with the soccer registration. I didn't see a report on that. I know we advertising it.
We have been advertising. Forms were brought out to the school early last month. It has been very slow. I only have about 13 kids registered for this program. I do have the Gonzales Soccer Association has volunteered their time and their coaches for this Saturday for the kids we do have to come out and do a soccer clinic and get them started. So maybe they'll get some more people, and I will be signing up on that day.
Okay.
Hopefully we can get some more kids out there and sign up.
Once again,
So we'll just keep pushing back the time until
we
we get enough kids. Yes.
All right, and that's what I wanted to know, and make sure, I know I seen the sign up and everything, but I wanted to see what type of participation we was gonna have on it. But once again, not like the east side, participation is no problem.
Right.
Parents, no problem, but on my side, it is a problem.
Right.
But they ask for the same thing you asked for, but the difference is you have participation, and on the west side, there's not that many participation. So, I just want to let my constituent know, if you want it, you have to have people to get involved, and you can get it. So, thank you for that report.
You're
And I want to also thank every parents and everyone who support our recreation system. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight and showing your concern, and I hope you show up more and put your input in it. I know some of it is good and some of it is bad, but I really appreciate the night so we can know what's actually going out there from your point of view. We always hear all the negative, but tonight we heard a lot of good too. So, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Got one. I'd like to not go through this meeting without mentioning former recreation director that we had, Mr. Gorney Gotro, who passed away. He was a good friend of mine, good friend of everybody's up here, and good friend of a lot of people in recreation. And it's sad to see that we won't see him anymore. He retired a couple months ago, and he passed away last week. So thought it would be he was a great guy and did a lot for the kids of this parish. And wish all his family, some in these sad times, God with them. So thank y'all.
With that, we'll go to. Can you come to the podium?
My name's Jacob Cuvion. I'm with the ABC guys. I've never been to a meeting like this before, so y'all said something at the very beginning about filling something out to talk. Can y'all just explain that process so that if we need to come back, obviously I see them now, but there's some public speaker cards up here. So before the meeting starts, you gotta fill it out. So that's all I wanted to ask. That's what I wanted to. Mr. Joseph, I remember you from the volunteer to be on the recreation thing, and I remember talking to you at that, and I appreciate what you're trying to do for recreation.
Thank you.
And every time I hear, and I said this at that meeting, and I told all these guys that when we had a meeting the other day, every time the words Lamar Dixon comes out of somebody's mouth, if y'all put that in, if y'all put Lamar Dixon with the rest of this stuff, it's gonna keep getting voted down. Understand that, because I live in Galvez. I'm not going to Lamar Dixon. I don't go. I'm not going. I don't care about that. It kills things for everybody else in the parish. Because everybody's so worried about making something happen with Lamar Dixon because all that money's been spent on it. For me, in my eyes, the reason why we struggle with what we struggle with, trying to get the fields right and all that stuff, is because they spent too much money on Lamar Dixon. So we don't have anything in recreation for the parish or anything else. So that's all.
Thank you for your comment.
With that, we'll go to agenda item number 9.
Motion adjourned, Mr. Chairman.
Motion adjourned by Councilman Larry, seconded by Councilman Jones. Meeting adjourned.